Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands, and welcome to an SP Reviews, where today we're going to be checking out a track from an act named Amanda Davey titled Finish Line. And if we switch over to here, this is not the first track I reviewed from Amanda Davey. That is an upcoming track which I think is going to be released in October. So if you like today's track Finish Line, please do. I'll leave either a link to the other review in the description for when that comes out. But we're going to listen through this track from start till finish, and we're going to hear what we think. Let's go.
I've stumbled, I'm still falling, always humbled by my problems I'm hiding.
Great panning of the guitar at the start.
So I'll struggle through it all, finding bricks to build my wall, yet the fighting is within. Oh, just run my faith towards a prize with the Holy Spirit inside. He won't give me more than I can take. 'Cause it builds me up to make me strong by teaching me how to face the storm. Trust in the light, bring glory first to Christ, yeah. So I'll fall on my knees and lift my eyes, raise my hand, give up the fight. My freedom will arrive on the other side. So I'll break on through and cross that finish line, yeah. I see the victory.
Fantastic dynamic range.
It's right in front of me. I can't wait to find the peace on the other side. Though fear and doubt surround me, I keep looking through the crowd. 'Cause he's my God, I'm not doing this alone. Oh, 'cause he builds me up to make me strong by teaching me how to face the storm. Trust in the light, bring glory first to Christ. Up on my knees, lift my eyes, raise my hand, give up the fight. My freedom will arrive on the other side. So I break on through and cross that finish line.
Great tail on that. Nice work.
We're surrounded by witnesses. Let go of the weights that'll bring us down, especially the sound that'll keep us distracted. Let us run with endurance. This race that He set before us. I'm gonna cross that finish line. Hey, I'm gonna cross that finish line. Oh, my breakthrough's on the other side. So I'm gonna cross that finish line. So I'm on my knees and lift my eyes, raise my hand, give up the fight. My freedom will arrive on the other side. Bring on through and cross that finish line. Oh, bring on through and cross that finish line. Bring on through to the other side. Finding peace on the other side. Bring on through, bring on through. Bring on through to the other side.
That was cool. Finish Line, we'll just let that play out. So that was a track from an act named Amanda Davey titled Finish Line. We're going to talk about this track though more in the conclusion. Because welcome to the conclusion of my review of this track from an act named Amanda Davey titled Finish Line. Now, what do I think this track is about? It's a song where we're discussing the race that God has put in front of us, as I understand it. And it's talking about a sort of our want to get across the finish line, to experience that freedom that is waiting for us. I think that's the kind of idea behind it. It's like the idea that even though we might struggle through our journey and everything like that, eventually that finish line will come and it'll be worth it in the end. And I think that's an interesting message. It's kind of sweet. I mean that genuinely, by the way. It's a cool kind of an optimistic kind of message there. And I think that regardless of your belief set, it's worth trying to make the most of the race. I think that there's a lot to be valued here. There are distractions and everything put in place, again, regardless of how you see these things. And it's about trying to find what's important and working towards that goal that you have, whether it be down here or above. I think that the vocal performance of Amanda Davey is fantastic. They can clearly sing. They're very comfortable in their vocal range. The performance was energetic, and they had a lot of passion for what they were singing about. There was effort to not just have really compelling vocal melodies in the chorus sections, and there was more than enough effort. Like that, they've also tried to make the verse and the storytelling parts, as well as the interlude section, which is a bit more low-key, sort of fascinating as well. But it's also that we had some interesting sort of like background paddy kind of vocals later on in the track there. It had an interesting sort of harmony when they were intertwined with what was going on with the main leads. I really appreciated that. I think that there's a lot of really cool stuff that they're trying to do within this piece. And I appreciate Amanda Davey for putting so much work into the vocals and the story. I think that the way we expressed ourselves makes sense for the tale that we're telling here. We sort of seem like we're kind of up for the challenge, and we're very, very kind of into it. And I think that's exactly the kind of authenticity you need here. The performance itself, the guitar, it was predominantly guitars, drums, and bass. There might have been other instruments, but those were the ones that I got for most of it. So I'll talk about those. And a track that was structurally sort of more oriented around like intro, verses, chorus, and then the interlude parts, as well as some occasional instrumental breaks. The guitar was very much, you had sort of strum, sort of clean acoustics, a little bit of edge with some of the distorted sort of rhythm riffs that we had with some single note and some power chordal bits. But we also had some sort of bluesy elements there, and an interesting use of that scale shape for a bit of edginess, a little bit raunchy there, which is kind of dope. We had a more exotic sounding meditative chorus, or like kind of effects processed clean like guitar take in the interlude section. There was an interesting different texture within the piece, and helped to differentiate the interlude from everything else. So almost sort of introspective, maybe implied with the vocal parts, with a different idea with the way those arpeggios were played in that part there. It is very, very good in regards to like segmentation and stuff. The bass line, it was relatively tight what was going on with the chord progressions. It typically stuck with the root notes there, backing those up. The drums were pretty good for the most part. I appreciated the finesse with the kit, and we were comfortable on the kit there, playing the different hi-hat, kick, and snare grooves there. We might have also had some fill patterns and stuff like that. I'd have to listen back to like have some specificity of the different ideas we had there. But there was an interesting range of normal and halftime grooves there. We were happily comfortable going between those. And it didn't feel too rushed. We had a sense of power and grace behind the rhythm section that was trying to sort of make it uplifting without being too aggressive. And even when there was distortion with the guitar leads, it never became too much. There was a general sort of like brightness and shimmer and sheen to it. Yeah, I was having another look through. Yeah, it's typically guitars, bass, and drums, which I appreciate. I'm glad I wasn't missing anything, at least as far as I was aware. I think that the motif overall sounded like someone who was trying to overcome a challenge there. The tone of the guitars there was kind of like intense there. The kind of punchiness of the drums indicated that we were we were kind of bouncing around and ready to go. And there was a great sense of groove and unity with the words that were being sung by Amanda Davey throughout the vocal parts there. The instrumentation, there was a great chemistry between what the performers were doing and what Amanda was doing on the mic. So it seemed like everyone was there with her, wanting to go on that journey, like wanted to sort of take part in that race. And that made it all the more sort of enthralling, I suppose. It's a song where we had several distinct ideas that melded together into a piece that seemed relatively positive for what we needed to overcome. Even if there was a little bit of like darkness and mystery in that interlude section, we came back to the chorus, insinuating that even if we had that sense of trepidation, like even if there's a possibility of having trepidation, we knew it was going to be worth it in the end. But the studio recording, mixing, and mastering was pretty good. I liked a lot of it. I think that the leveling in general was pretty good. Stuff on the stereo was kind of nice. There was bits like where there was like a little kind of like delay between some bits there. It wasn't a detriment. It was just something I noticed there. It was quite an organic performance in a few bits, but I think it was nonetheless appreciated. You could tell they were really playing their instruments. I think that the leveling, the guitar, bass, and drums with and underneath Amanda were fantastic there. It was quite a tight mix. They did well at EQing and leveling the instruments for the most part. I think that there was dynamic range, of course, as well. It was nice where things came down. We were kind of self-aware of what we needed to do in those situations there to get clarity whilst also having things kind of tight. Still nice and loud with that pump because the bus compression limiting was handled. And again, Amanda can just sing, so there was no over-processing of the vocals or anything like that. It was just a really great sort of take of recordings there. But thank you very much for watching my review of this track from an act named Amanda Davey titled Finish Line. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please do go show us some love via their various social medias and YouTube page, and stay cool, stay safe, and please remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time. It's here to help more than ever thought of crazy stuff going on in the world, and I will catch you in the next review. Spiderhands out.